4, Sue Moroney.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister of Education. Does she stand by all her statements on early childhood education?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Yes.
Sue Moroney.
Supplementary. Can services now charge an optional fee to families of children accessing 20 hours ECE if they have more than 80% qualified staff, despite her statement in Parliament on October the 26th repeating her election promise that National would keep 20 hours ECE, including the same fee controls?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, this government promised that we would retain the subsidies and fee controls that make up 20 hours ECE. Those fee controls still apply.
Supplementary.
Sue Moroney.
Why was the Early Childhood Education Funding Handbook amended recently, removing the fee control that prevented services from charging optional fees for providing qualified staff?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, I repeat for that member, the fee controls that would have allowed centres to charge compulsory top-up fees, those controls still remain.
Louise Upston.
What other statements has the Minister seen about early childhood education?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, one statement I've seen from an owner of 9 early childhood centres who said in an email to me, quote, "We commend you for the decisions you have made. We have spent years trying to employ fully qualified people in our centres. Some of our difficulties are now being addressed through your policy of 80% qualified staff in centres." End quote.
Sue Moroney.
Supplementary question. To the Minister, why did a ministry official report to the sector last week that they could now charge fees for providing more than 80% qualified staff for children attending under the 20 hours ECE?
The Honourable Anne Tolley.
Mr Speaker, they have always been able to charge that as long as they are optional. They cannot charge compulsory top-up fees, and that has not changed.
Sue Moroney.
If she stands by her statement that quality early childhood education and care is a high priority for the government, will she ensure that the Prime Minister works with the opposition to find a time for us to present the 20,000 postcards which oppose the budget cuts and call for the target for 100% qualified and registered teachers to be reinstated?
Well, Mr Speaker, I have no responsibility for the Prime Minister, and if the opposition wished to speak to him, I'm sure he'd be willing to make time for them.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor. Order. A point of order has been called.
Mr Speaker, the question was actually, while political, it was straightforward. Will she work with the Prime Minister? And that, sir, is not the Prime Minister's responsibility, it's the Minister's.
Order. The member's normally pretty good at picking which questions to make a stand on, but forgive me, that question contained a fair bit of political content and it received a pretty modest answer in response. Question. Point of order, Sue Moroney.
Point of order. I seek leave to table a document showing the new requirements under the ECE funding handbook, showing that that now services can actually have an optional charge.
What we need to know is the document is from the ECE handbook, is it?
Yes.
Leave us sought to table that part of the handbook. Is there any objection? There is no objection. Question number 5, Todd McLeod.